Good day, spiritual beings, from Celestial Medium. For thousands of years, it has stood in silence, yet its presence echoes with a message from the ancient past. The Great Pyramid of Giza, monolithic, eternal, defiant, has withstood the rise and fall of empires. But its true purpose? That remains cloaked in mystery until now. Today, we explore a powerful idea. The Great Pyramid of Giza is not a tomb for dead pharaohs, but a center of sacred initiation and energy, placed deliberately to awaken humanity and harmonize the earth. The pyramids are the legacy of a civilization older than we dare imagine, guardians of a sacred science now being rediscovered. But first, let us journey through the eyes of an ancient initiate. Let his story take you deep into the sacred process of initiation through the sands of time. His name was Kheri of Abu Simbel. He was not born of noble blood, but the stars had chosen him. On the night of his birth, a blazing comet split the sky, a celestial omen witnessed by the temple seers. Marked by destiny, he was taken from his family in the dark of night, swaddled in white linen, and delivered to the temple of Dendera, where his path would begin. He would learn the arts of science, math, and magic over the next 12 years. As he came of age, his first challenge? To open his base chakra, rooting his energy deep into the earth, connecting him to his physical body and the divine feminine pulse of creation. There, among moonlit columns and whispering priests, he was taught the ancient ways, sacred geometry, celestial harmonics, alchemy of the soul. He fasted beneath the stars, meditated in silence for days. He learned the language of vibration, the power of breath, and the secrets of light. At Karnak, the tests began. The energy shifted as the solar masculine began to awaken within. Blindfolded, he was cast into endless corridors. Echoes of forgotten chants filled the air as disembodied voices tested his will. Kheri navigated labyrinthine halls as ancient chants resonated around him, stirring his solar plexus, the seat of will and courage. Here he faced his fears, challenged the ego, and began to understand the delicate dance between surrender and action, yin and yang. Walls wept with sacred oils. Time ceased to exist. He walked not just through stone, but through his own shadow. At Luxor, he faced judgment, not in death, but in life. In the inner sanctum, he knelt before the priest of Maat. The priest measured his heart not to condemn or reward, but to ensure balance between compassion and strength. His heart, unseen but laid bare, was weighed not against a feather, but against truth itself. Had he mastered compassion, balance? The hidden scales decided. After the weighing, he was taught the intricacies of energetic healing. At Abydos, he descended into myth. There in the temple of Osiris, he was led to the sacred well. He was told nothing, only pointed to the water. With no hesitation, he dove in. The pool was cold, black, alive. Crocodiles circled unseen. He swam through fear, through death itself, emerging not just wet, but transformed. He spoke the hidden name, the true sound of the divine, vibrating it through the stone. The walls trembled. It was here his throat chakra opened as he voiced the sacred names of the gods, vibrations that resonated with the divine feminine voice and masculine authority. His voice opened the throat of the gods, who began to speak to him loud and clear. Next, he arrived at Giza, the crown, the eye, the final gate. This would be the ultimate awakening. He stood before the pyramid's magnificent silhouette, a cosmic axis linking heaven and earth. As he ascended the causeway, the white casing stones of the pyramid glowed in the setting sun. The sheer magnitude of it struck his spirit. It was not built, it had been sung into being. He felt the presence of the creator, Amun-Ra, not as a god, but as light itself. He was first taken into the queen's chamber by the grand priest. Robed in indigo and gold, There, his energy centers were aligned and magnified. The priest sang ancient vowels that echoed across dimensions, purifying Kheri's field, sharpening his mind, softening his heart. Then came the final ascent, the king's chamber, where masculine power and the infinite void converged. There, all titles were stripped away. He was no longer student, nor priest, nor man, only a soul, a small portion of the infinite creator. He lay within the sarcophagus, which acted as a sensory deprivation chamber, naked, alone, sealed in pitch black silence. He was told nothing, only this: surrender. And so he did. He let go of the world of himself, of breath. Here, the sacred marriage of feminine and masculine energies within him was consummated. Then he began to hum the sacred tone. It resonated with the stones. The chamber vibrated, the air thickened, the veil thinned. His crown, chakra opening like a lotus flower. His soul unraveled from the flesh, riding waves of sound into the stars. He traveled beyond time, through realms of light and fire, stood before the council of 9 luminous beings, saw the architecture of the cosmos. When he returned, he was not the same. He was awakened, enlightened, transformed. He was Kheri no more. He was light. This was the purpose of the pyramid, not a tomb for the dead, but a womb for the reborn. So, what is the Great Pyramid? It is an energetic instrument that manipulates energy and resonates sound. Its chambers are tuned to specific frequencies. The king's chamber resonates at 111 hertz, a frequency linked to healing and altered states. Sound initiations, possibly aided by harmonic chants and resonance, activated energy centers in the initiate's body. Granite, filled with quartz, responded to vibrational energy, amplifying the effect. The chambers were more than rooms, they were devices, stargates for the soul. The raw material, channeled by LL Research, affirms this purpose. According to Ra, the pyramid was created through thought, not manual labor, as a resonant structure designed to initiate and heal, serving as a spiritual accelerator for those ready to ascend. Each stone is alive with intelligent energy that these higher beings know how to communicate with. A journey down the Nile reveals something astonishing. The major temples align with the energy centers, or chakras, of the human body. Initiates traveled this sacred path, moving temple by temple, awakening the corresponding energy within themselves, like a serpent of light uncoiling up the spine of the Nile, similar to the Hindu idea of Kundalini energy. Each temple was a school, a gate to self-realization. This initiation was not simply spiritual. It was a cosmic alchemy, designed to restore the sacred balance within each seeker, mirroring the harmony that sustains the universe itself. As a spiritual aspirant, I too remember that path, not from books, but from dreams, regressions, fragments of memory. And while I did not complete it then, I walk it now again in this life. I saw my death in a past life regression as I was leaving Karnak headed to Luxor with a group of initiates. The Pyramid of Giza, attributed to Pharaoh Khufu, was a spiritual machine of transformation, a temple of light where the initiate became whole, where the duality of human nature was healed and the path to divine union revealed. Egyptologists have long claimed the pyramids were built as tombs for the pharaohs. But where are the mummies? Not a single body has ever been found inside the Great Pyramid. No hieroglyphs decorate its inner chambers. No funerary texts adorn the walls. Contrast this with the elaborate tombs of the Valley of the Kings, covered in spells and art. The Great Pyramid is different. It is silent, geometrically perfect, mechanically precise, built with a purpose that modern Egyptology struggles to explain. It defies conventional timelines, traditional construction methods, and historical narratives. But What if everything we've been told is only part of the story? Could it be that the pyramids served a different function entirely? One rooted in spiritual science and planetary energy? Ancient Egyptian texts speak of a time when the gods walked among men, called Zep Tepi, which means the first time. According to these records, advanced beings brought knowledge, architecture, and spiritual wisdom to the Nile Valley. These beings gave them the recipe for initiation and creating the pyramid. Graham Hancock, in his landmark work, Fingerprints of the Gods, argues that the pyramids are the legacy of a lost advanced civilization that perished in a global cataclysm around 12,000 years ago. His theory aligns with the geological evidence on the Sphinx, suggesting water erosion far older than Egypt's dynastic period. Spiritual teacher Drunvalo Melchizedek adds another layer, claiming the pyramids were built with consciousness and sound, a feat of sacred geometry and multidimensional technology inherited from Atlantis. His theory aligns with the raw material. According to his teachings, the pyramids were intended as tools for planetary healing and consciousness awakening, linked with Earth's grid and human ascension. These spiritual theories all tell a similar tale, that the pyramids were built to facilitate spiritual growth and ascension, not just for initiates, but for the planet. The Giza Pyramid is not alone. It aligns precisely with other ancient sites across the globe. Stonehenge, Teotihuacan, Angkor Wat. These monuments sit on planetary grid points, intersections of Earth's magnetic ley lines. Nikola Tesla believed the Earth could conduct wireless electricity using these natural electromagnetic currents. He was inspired by the pyramids and studied them at length, particularly their geometric precision and alignment with cosmic bodies. Tesla even built Wardenclyffe Tower based on principles he believed were encoded in the Great Pyramid structure. Recent theorists suggest that the pyramid functioned as a massive energy device, channeling geoelectric energy from aquifers beneath the plateau, amplified by the piezoelectric properties of granite and limestone. Some propose the capstone was once gold or another conductive material that broadcast the energy. This energy could have powered ancient cities, healed the sick, and possibly communicated with other advanced civilizations. Was the Great Pyramid a global power station, an energy harmonizer, a beacon sending signals to the cosmos? These are no longer fringe ideas, but the rediscovery of a sacred science once known across the world. These pyramid power plant theories, explored by scholars like Christopher Dunn, suggest that the inner chambers were not meant for burial, but as harmonic resonators. Vibrational energy built within the chamber was amplified and projected outward to the entire surrounding area, possibly for healing, communication, or powering distant structures. This energy could have powered ancient cities, healed the sick, and possibly communicated with other advanced civilizations. Tesla believed such technology could offer limitless clean energy to the planet. Was he rediscovering an ancient science lost to time? More recently, a team of Italian researchers led by Professor Corrado Malanga of the University of Pisa has claimed to uncover evidence of an extensive underground network beneath the pyramids. Using advanced ground-penetrating radar and seismic data, they reported vast hollow spaces and structured tunnels that suggest a deliberately engineered subterranean complex, possibly designed for ceremonial, initiatory, or energetic purposes. In fact, multiple explorers and independent archaeologists have gathered evidence suggesting a vast underground network, possibly a hidden city, beneath the Giza Plateau. Reports of sealed chambers, water-filled tunnels, and vaulted stone rooms have surfaced, some said to stretch for miles. Egyptian lore also hints at hidden libraries, underground archives containing the wisdom of the gods. Some even suggest the underground city may still be partially intact, filled with untouched relics, preserved knowledge, or even energy devices still dormant. Could this labyrinth be the legendary halls of Amenti described in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth? Said to be a multi-dimensional space beneath the earth, the halls of Amenti are described as a repository of ancient wisdom, where time is suspended and souls are rejuvenated. Some traditions claim that beneath the Great Pyramid lies a stargate to these halls, a gateway between dimensions where initiates encountered the keepers of cosmic knowledge. Thoth himself, an Atlantean priest-king turned god, claimed in esoteric texts to have built the pyramid to access these halls, to prepare humanity for cycles of awakening and remembrance. Could this be the true heart of Giza, the hidden chamber of the soul of the earth? If such a city lies beneath Giza, it could hold the key to understanding not only Egypt's mysterious past, but humanity's forgotten origin. Matías De Stefano, known as a modern-day Akashic record reader, offers a profound cosmological insight into the purpose and origin of the pyramids, one that resonates with both esoteric tradition and higher dimensional consciousness. According to Matías, the pyramids are resonant frequency modulators, built not merely for physical or energetic purposes, but to anchor celestial wisdom into Earth's crystalline grid. He states that their alignment with the stars, particularly Orion, Sirius, and the Pleiades, serve to draw down galactic frequencies and translate them into the human experience. In his view, the Great Pyramid was the final step of a planetary initiation path, the crown of a sacred journey, much like the chakra path along the Nile. He describes initiates using the pyramid to crystallize their consciousness, aligning their energy with Earth's memory and the greater universal blueprint. Many spiritual and astral travelers support the concept of an underground city beneath Giza, stating that this subterranean space served as a womb-like environment for initiates, a metaphysical underworld where they confronted and transcended their deepest fears, emerging as beings of light. This inner labyrinth mirrors the process of spiritual rebirth. Furthermore, Matías suggests that the Great Pyramid is still active, waiting for those with the right frequency to awaken it. He believes that modern seekers, many of whom are incarnated initiates from ancient times, are beginning to remember how to interact with these structures once again. According to the raw material, channeled works from the 1980s, often referred to as the Law of One, and a foundational text in modern spiritual philosophy, the pyramids were created by an advanced, benevolent extraterrestrial group known as Ra. These entities claim to be from the sixth density, a realm of unity and compassion. Ra states that the Great Pyramid was constructed through thought, using sound and consciousness to shape and place the stones with exacting precision. The pyramid's purpose, they say, was not for the dead, but to assist in the spiritual initiation and healing of the living. It was designed to accelerate the growth of the soul, using resonance to balance and align energy centers. In Ra's words, the pyramid was a carefully designed tool to aid in the initiation of beings into an understanding of the infinite creator. They also clarify that later pyramids attempted to copy the original without fully understanding the spiritual principles involved. This idea supports the concept of a once unified spiritual science, now fragmented, its sacred legacy hidden in stone. Today, as consciousness rises, more are awakening to these mysteries. Meditation, sound healing, and sacred geometry are no longer fringe concepts. They are the keys to unlocking the forgotten science of the soul. The pyramids are not relics, they are blueprints, tools for awakening, and their time has come again. And for some of us, this is more than a theory. It is a memory. I, the celestial medium, have traveled within the pyramid through meditation, through dreams, through astral realms. I have seen its chambers in the timeless space between lifetimes. I have stood in the king's chamber where the body dissolves and the soul soars. I have been initiated in its resonant silence and felt the power of the sacred frequencies vibrate my very essence. In a past life, I began the sacred journey through the 7 temples along the Nile. I did not finish it then. I died along the way from Luxor to Karnak. But I remember the longing, the purpose, the awakening. I also remember living in the land of Khem, where the vibrations from the Great Pyramids were felt by all who lived in the area. These vibrations facilitated health and well-being for the entire civilization. My recollection is of a multifaceted power generator that served many purposes at different times. The pyramid is not a relic of the past. It is a living initiatory temple, and it still calls to those ready to awaken. The Great Pyramid is a living monument, a sacred machine, a cosmic mirror. It was built not by slaves, but by sages, not for death, but for life. It calls to us now as it did to Kheri, the initiate, not just to remember, but to become. The journey is not over, it is just beginning. Thank you for watching. If this video resonates with you, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Namaste.